discussing your tweets. Can you throw more light on the Soros link that you're talking about?
Well, it appears that the notification that was received from Apple mentioned an NGO called Access Now. It was also part of the follow-up messages that apparently were received by some of the members in the opposition in particular, which they have put out in the public domain. If you look at the credentials of Access Now, it is funded by George Soros. The same NGO has built a network of several NGOs in the country, which all work in tandem, in cohort with each other, and push a certain narrative. Now, it is quite obvious that given the past track record of the Congress party and how Rahul Gandhi in particular championed the entire Pegasus story, which was in a sense sponsored by foreign publications and picked up by the Congress party here and a web portal here in India, you find that one of the editors of that web portal is also a member of Access Now and has a very active collusion with them. Given this entire ecosystem of Access Now and its various other subsidiaries here in India, involvement of the same publication that was the front of the Pegasus story, Rahul Gandhi's alacrity to come out and do a press conference, the same set of people who were in question or who made the noise during Pegasus are the ones who are now making the noise during this Apple notification issue. Clearly, this is not all a coincidence. It is a well-orchestrated, well-funded operation meant to undermine India's democracy. We've seen how George Soros has gone on record to say that he's committed over $1 billion to regime change in India and that he's working very closely with the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi in particular, who has been seen pictured several times with the members of Open Society Foundation, which is a George Soros enterprise. So there are too many things that link up here. The information available in public domain links Access Now to George Soros and to Apple, notifications going specifically to the few noisy members of parliament from the opposition who clearly have very little political value but seem to be the persistent noisemakers in the opposition rank. It's all under a design, and it is now getting more and more obvious.
Right. Now, Mr. Malviya, help us understand this, because Apple in its statement says that it is not attributing threats to any specific state-sponsored attacker. It also says it's not specific to opposition in India. Such threats, warning rather, messages have gone to individuals in nearly 150 nations. So, was that all also in collusion with this network that you're talking about, Access Now?
Well, it could be a reference to George Soros-funded enterprise. He's not the state in himself, but he is a wealthy billionaire who has committed a lot of money to regime change across the country. So in that sense, Apple's clarification does tie in with the involvement of George Soros-funded NGOs across the world and in India in particular. And let's not forget, we have elections coming up in the next 7-8 months. Clearly, these agencies are all worked up. The opposition, led by Rahul Gandhi, is in cohorts with the George Soros-funded organizations across the world. Every time he goes outside, he meets these people. He's been hobnobbing them with them here in India. So Apple's clarification that it cannot be attributed to a state per se, but people who had the resources like a state would have could also be behind it, and it could well be George Soros. And these connections, this entire network that has come to light, the involvement of the web portal here in India, who earlier championed the Tech Fox story, the Meta Instagram being controlled, the Pegasus lead, it all just ties up perfectly well. So clearly, there is a very sinister plot being put out there. Rahul Gandhi is fronting it. On the back is, of course, George Soros and its well-funded enterprise, several civil rights activists, journalists,
Okay, so you're saying definitely there is a George Soros link as far as this Snoopgate saga is concerned. Amit Malviya, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective. That, of course, is an allegation that is being levelled by the BJP, by Amit Malviya, against the opposition that, in fact, claimed that their phones were being hacked by the centre and blamed the central government. Post which, of course, Apple did release an official statement saying such messages have been sent to individuals in across 150 countries. With that, we're speaking to a very short break. News and updates will continue.